What is going on, guys? We are back with another rebuild on Madden 23, and today it is of the Dallas Cowboys. This was supposed to be a Raiders rebuild, but if you follow me on Twitter, I mentioned how it's March 16th, and there are still glitches that destroy franchises. I don't know how. I might have just caught it at the wrong time. Apparently, I don't know how that's even possible, because I was looking, the only reason why I even knew is because I was looking up some sort of fix for it, but apparently there's like long-term maintenance on the game that started like 2 hours ago from this recording and is going to last another 2 hours, and online's not supposed to be available, which I don't understand because I'm currently on the game. Maybe they started the update, it was quicker than expected, and it ended. Maybe I got caught in some bad loop. I don't know, but that franchise might be busted, which is great because it was going pretty well. It was an interesting rebuild, which I may have to redo, which is unfortunate. But this is for the Dallas Cowboys now, a team that hopefully is a little bit quicker, but did make some changes. Zeke is supposedly going to be released. I don't know how true that is, unless he's just a really bad locker room guy, which, I mean, I can maybe see. I don't know what they're getting out of releasing Zeke this season, but we'll see. Maybe I do release him anyways, but this is what the team looks like right now. Tight end is one of the biggest needs on this team. O-line definitely could use some help, especially with Tyron Smith being such an injury-prone guy. I know he's got some restructured contract with a ton of incentives for him to stay healthy, I believe, but when healthy, he's obviously insanely good. Zach Martin's still pretty damn good, but those two guys are aging in general. Safeties, Hooker and Curse, they also re-signed... Oh, where the hell did that guy go, actually? Where's Wilson? Wilson! Well, apparently no one wants Donovan Wilson, but they also re-signed Donovan Wilson to a 3-year 24. But yeah, our salary cap is even worse than before. But yeah, if that unit, especially the DB, stays healthy, that Cowboys team, I mean, obviously, they've been a pretty good defense in general. Definitely to worry about. Of course, adding Gilmore was probably the biggest need / biggest addition, obviously. Defensive line definitely needs some tackles. DTs are a huge problem. Wouldn't hurt to get another linebacker, and then I do worry a little bit about the age of the safeties, but there's not really much we can do about it now when we need DTs, a tight end, and some O-linemen. So, yeah, I mean, they hit on some linemen recently enough. Steele, I believe, is going to be there next year, unless somebody matches for a second round. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but as guard spot for Tyler Smith, assuming, you know, Tyron wants to stay healthy, would be great. So this is a pretty solid offensive line yet again, assuming health is a thing. Dak obviously not nearly as good as previous 2 seasons, but he can obviously get back there. And then Michael Gallup, more injury things, and in general, just a risk they took so far looking bad. Damn, Dalton Kincaid and Brazee gone by 12. I mean, Michael Mayer, is he worth the trade up? Might go to here with the Packers even. Levis at 15, huh? 27-16 for a tight end. Oh, man. It's crazy, though, because the comp, I'm pretty sure, for Mayer is like freaking Jason Witten, but I'd rather go Tucker Kraft in the second than to make that play. Like, that is just, that's a lot to ask for, I think. And he goes to the division rival, so we'll get to see him close up, even if he's not on our team anyways. And I almost want to take Brian Branch. I know he's supposed to go higher than this, but athleticism concerns, maybe? Maybe? And you know what? I think I'm actually going to go with my second best interior option, a guy that I also haven't went for in Madden yet in drafts. So Keon White, who is 23. That is not something I remembered seeing. Still going to grab me. Looks pretty good. Hidden development trait, 88 strength, 82 speed, 85 excel. I got over my my fears a little bit. I'm just going to move on to 27 because I think there's going to be a bunch of players here for us that we need and just are willing to select. Tucker Kraft is still there. I really just like him as a Cowboy. Could get Zach Harrison as well. I mean, play him on the interior, I suppose. Do have Jervon Dexter there. Thule. I never get Thule, in fairness. It's kind of tough. Like, I know that Zach Harrison is still an X factor on this class, but I'd probably drop his dev down to, like, superstar at least. But Tucker Kraft, huge need. We just got a DT or D-end for the interior, which is, I mean, one of the big needs. I might actually just go and take tight end now. We need a tight end. Tucker Kraft is the guy. Let's go Tucker Kraft. Hidden development trait, 87 speed, 86 excel, tight end 1 instantly. And honestly, we really don't have anything we need to reach for. I mean, there's obviously needs on the team, but there's nothing we have to go and trade up to get. So I'm willing to just move to that spot and then select best available, which I don't know what that is at this point. I don't know if Terrence Steele's a re-sign candidate for us or not. Kind of thinking he goes safety because we've got some safety pieces moving around, and Jartavius Martin is still there, very athletic. Wouldn't start right away, though, would he? I'm going to take Jartavius Martin anyways. Another hidden development trait player, 97 jumping. I actually don't usually look at the jumping traits for DBs too often, so I didn't actually see that he was that good at jumping. Wouldn't hurt to get a lineman, but have we sold on that? Probably. Oh, Whippler's still there, and center's one of our biggest needs. Haven't had this guy before. Welcome to the team. Normal dev. I won't have him again. Our next pick is in the freaking 7th. Yikes. Really wanted to add another wide receiver if I could, or running back even, but yeah, I think we're going to go to the 7th round, and then, I guess let's go to the 6th and see if there's anyone there. I don't think he can get all the way back in without costing us a ton where we were there, but I think here maybe you can make a play. So anyone here? Coburn, the nose tackle, would be interesting. Linebacker wouldn't hurt. And then these running backs are projected 4th rounders. We tried a 5th and a 7th to move up to 6, which I am going to be taking, I think, Winters with this pick. Like I said, I would like a running back, and maybe one of the running backs does fall, but I think both of these guys are 4th rounders. So D. Winters, and I think he's going to start. I actually think he's going to start. I think we drafted him once before recently, but we didn't start him. He is going to start for us, though, as I don't know what the hell I do with Clark. I really don't. Like, he's not a coverage guy. He's not a pass rusher. There's just not much I can do with him. That salary cap looks worse and worse by the moment. Keon White, the new starting number 2 DT, if you will. Tucker Kraft, the new starting tight end. Jartavius Martin, the new backup free safety for this season. Whippler's a wasted pick. D. Winters may be a wasted pick, but we're going to start him anyways. I just can't believe Mayer and Brazee went so high. I guess Mayer was like 16th, which isn't crazy, but I was really hoping one of them would have been there around 20 and I could have made the play, but I can't get up any higher than that, to be honest. And like I said, I'm not really sure what you're saving with getting rid of Zeke this season. It's like a $6 million dead hit next year. Well, I don't think Zeke was that great. Is he worth $6 million? Probably, right? Especially since he's been there that long. It's not even actually $6 million. I think it's like, technically he'd be worth $4 million because if they, cut him, that dead hit is going to equal to a positive gain of like, what, $4 million or something like that, or whatever, negative gain of 4, I don't know, whatever it is, but I looked into it and it is not great. Here we go, the season 1 team. It looks pretty decent. Offensive line probably could have done better with center. I thought Whippler maybe would have been hidden. I see him go decently high in the 4th round as a day 3. So I'm like, maybe he's good. He's not. So this guy's laughing at him because he's never going to start. Wide receivers definitely could use a new one, but wasn't the biggest need and didn't have the most draft capital, and obviously salary cap, we didn't have the most. This is what the D-line looks like. Could use a new right end. I think you kind of have to choose the Cowboys scheme because there's not many teams that are going to have the right outside linebacker getting as many rushes in as them, I imagine. So he will be, one of the sub ends, and we're going to keep the Dallas Cowboys playbook going. But obviously a lot of talent on this defense, just, some varying overalls and devs. So the corners are great, left end's great, right out's great, middle linebacker's decent, safeties are decent, and then you got a couple of lower overalls elsewhere. But this should easily be a playoff team, but will it be a Super Bowl team? Because I will have to admit, compared to previous years in Madden, they're not a team that wins the Super Bowl that much lately, despite having what apparently is the best playbook scheme, at least on offense. I imagine we're going to have some casualties at some point here, and one of those may be Tyron Smith. Gilmore could be on that list as well, but Trayvon Diggs, from overrated to overhated, as he actually had himself an amazing year last year with the Cowboys. And I imagine, assuming they decide to pay him, once again, this is a team that has definitely, I wouldn't say neglected cornerback, but let a lot of their star corners go. They're going to pay him a 4-year $76, which I think is fair money. I think it's fair money, and as much as we know Tony Pollard is some booty in sim, he's a very good player in real life, a 5-year $40 for his talents. That's even kind of a steal at this point. And everyone else I'm willing to let go, but I would like to keep Tyron and Gilmore if possible. We're going to wait to, see what happens here to see if, maybe they regress a little bit and see if they're a little bit cheaper that way. Be nice to keep Gilmore around for one more season. Same with Tyron. All right, win, and we're the division leaders, which we did. A bunch of 9-8s across the board, though. Let's take a look at our season. Take a look at the Eagles, because even though they're kind of losing some players in real life, it'd be interesting to see how they lost so many games. A bunch of loss-win. The Commanders screwing themselves and the Eagles potentially from a playoff spot there. And obviously the Commanders, their draft selection. Was that Von Miller with 27 sacks, by the way? Dak with a pretty good season. Interceptions a little high, but that's a great season anyways. Pollard, as far as Madden sim goes, that's actually really good. Zeke, as far as backups go, that's really, really good. CeeDee Lamb's already an X factor, but he would have went up if he wasn't. Tolbert should be a star, and Kraft, maybe superstar. Gallup, not great, but I am absolutely satisfied with the way the season went on offense. And then defensively, White with 12.5 sacks, 9.5 for Lawrence, 9 for Parsons. Odigizua with a 7.5 sacker, and then Sam Williams with 3 interceptions are super low. Riley Patterson, not a bad kicking season. And Anger, really good punting. Turpin, the special teams guru with a kick return touchdown. That was a really good year. That was really solid. If that regular season is any indication of how this playoff season may go, there's legitimately a chance. I'm just going to say it. Tyree Wilson to the Bears. I didn't change the Panthers-Bears one because I'm not like saying, we've lost. Rebuild. But I cut that corner a little bit as the Panthers literally have somehow done well with pick 1 not being a quarterback, and the Bears just haven't done anything with the first pick overall, next year, this year, second rounds, and DJ Moore. So I figured there's no point. The draft is so wrong anyways, even when, they need a quarterback, that it just doesn't matter. And I also didn't notice right away, but we actually have a bye week. Maybe this is going to be a Super Bowl run. We have the bye week, the Falcons and 9. So there was only 2 teams with 10 wins in the NFC. That's absurd. But I'm glad we were one of them because, of course, we have the bye week. So we only need to win 2 games and we're in the Super Bowl. All right, who will it be? Well, the Cowboys get their revenge here. 3 points, 3-3. Offense with 10 now. Looking good. 17-3. Nice stop. No touchdown or points before half, and that should be it. What a game. Defense is living it. Although, here they go. Okay, good job. They stopped them. About to say they're just going to give up the game here, but good work. Dak not outplayed because he didn't throw 2 interceptions, but yards definitely outplayed a little bit. Receiving, CeeDee Lamb versus Watson, almost exactly the same stats except for the touchdown and 1 difference in yard. Wow. Bakhtiari got smoked on. And then looking at interceptions, the linebackers, interesting. Missed a kick, great. The game-sealing kick, which left them alive for super long. Way to go, dude. And CeeDee Lamb's had himself a year. Went up like 4 overalls or something. We're going to go with slot because his lowest rating by far is that short route running, which this is the best way to get short, which gets 2. Fair enough. We also gave him the 5th-year option if you didn't know, and we're going to have to pay him soon. So, like I said, this would be the year to win it. We would still try 2 more seasons after to see if we can create like a Chiefs situation or something like that. But let's see. The Falcons, the second best NFC team, but I don't see how. Going to the end of the game, Atlanta moving down for 3 points. Nice stop, but offense is still yet to score points. Finally do. 10-3, 10-all. No points before half, even though they were driving, which is a mad L. Come on, offense! It's the freaking Falcons, bro. Thank you. Sorry, Falcons fans, but let's be honest. You're making some moves, but it's not good enough. And did we just win on a walk-off? I forgot to slow sim it, but the field goal actually was in. I am shocked by that. Usually the game just completely forgets to kick the field goal. Dak outplaying Anthony Richardson, who I don't see making it down to the Falcons, to be honest. I will say he's definitely overhyped, but it's still... Hype is real. Julio's back in Atlanta. That's interesting. D. Winters and Malik Hooker. D. Winters with some interceptions here, though. We like to see it. I don't think he was good enough for a dev up, but we like to see it. Also, this morale is through the roof. We have +4 morale. I also hate that Kelvin Joseph's being wasted, a +1 to speed on top of it. He's being wasted, but what can you do? He's like the 5th best corner we have here. And I completely forgot that was because of the bye week. A trip to the Super Bowl, which is hosted by the Colts. Not really hosted, but you know what I mean. The Colts are waiting. This could be a Super Bowl year one. But here we are in the big one. Driving down for a field goal. Nice. Good drive. Do finish it off with a touchdown, but we're down by 4 now. This is a bit of a back and forth one. Every team is scoring on each drive. A field goal right before half was massive. Up by 2. Touchdown, please. Field goal again. Just like that. We're down by 10 because we can't finish a drive. 4th and 5. They clutched up to Tolbert, though. Moving down the field, you obviously have to have it. Down by 3. Can the defense stop them? I doubt it. 3rd and 10. Let's see what they can do. I don't even know what you run here, dude. But I'd rather have us in here than the AI because the AI sucks. I guess Winters. Like, who do they even have at wide receiver? All the time in the world, and he's going to throw it away. The offense will have a chance. Perfect coverage. All right, short punt as well, and they're driving, and they don't even need my help. They didn't need my help. They won the Super Bowl. I am shocked. Like 2 minutes left. I get it's only like a 50, 60-yard drive they needed, but 2 minutes left. Didn't use the timeouts either. They actually got it done. I mean, the AI never gets it done. It's so rare that they get it done in that situation, and yet they have done it. Zeke is still on the roster for us because, like I said, I just like the idea of plan to release. Like, why wouldn't they have just said they're releasing him? Like, are they really going to release Zeke? I mean, the money just doesn't make sense to me either. Like, I don't know, but it is what it is. We'll probably end up letting him go this season anyways, so who cares? The Cowboys are back on top of the football world, and boy, will us haters have to hear about it. Let's be honest. A lot of people like to hate on the Cowboys just because it's fun to hate on them. They've been a really good team for how many years now? And they just can't get past the divisional, typically. But here, in year one, we made it to the Super Bowl. So Stephon Gilmore, in this realm, massive. Speaking of massive, holy crap. Nearly 200 yards after contact. I mean, this would be the negative legacy game for Stroud. I know he's a rookie, but how do you not win a Super Bowl where your running back puts up nearly an NFL rushing record? Would have been a Super Bowl record, I can just guarantee it. Touchdowns as well. How did we win this game? Honestly, how did they win it? I really don't understand. Will Lutz, look at our kicker, though. Look at our kicker, though. He's him. Nice. Yeah, I got to pay him. I got to pay Riley Patterson, which I apologize if he was good in real life. I don't really know, but he was a free agent, so I signed him. Don't yell at me. Let us go to the re-sign period. See if we had any retirements, which would be a huge L. If we have a retirement from one of these early linemen, that would be a pain. We have enough money, though. We can definitely afford some players. Where we got Cowboys, no one. I think you got to do what you can to keep this team intact, no matter what. Even if it costs someone next season, back-to-back Super Bowl chance, you got to take it every time. What was the offer? So basically 10-8. So I made it 10.5 and 8.5. He re-signed. That's a huge win. And Stephon Gilmore, definitely a drop-off. What is his ratings? Still good, though, right? 89 speed, 87 man, 89 zone. I mean, I'm willing to do it, obviously. Obviously. 1 year 16, he's taking it. 13 mil left. As much as Malik Hooker was good for us, that might be a casualty, dude. It might be. Unless we can get rid of someone now, maybe like Zeke, 2 year 8 for Riley Patterson. He might be out of here. Like, we can afford him. Now I'm going to try to. Nice. Okay, so we are up against it. But let me tell you, we kept all the players we needed to keep. We kept all the players we needed to keep. We still have the draft, and we may have some releasings that we can do to save a little bit of money. So there's no reason we can't win again. That's all I'm saying. And boy, let me tell you, we really don't have many names here. We'll take a look at free agency, but obviously we cannot spend in this. We're definitely losing Tyron and Gilmore next season, but that's obviously all right. Yeah, there's a pretty good free agent group here, to be fair, but kind of irrelevant to us. Micah Parsons needs a contract. He's definitely getting a 5th year because this is going to be pain having to re-sign him. Get the paperwork started, baby. So we have pick 32, and there are some wide receivers, but wide receiver is not the biggest need. So if there's someone there, maybe we'll take them. There's a lot of fast guys there, but we'll see what ends up happening. There's 3 of them, which is kind of strange. We are down to 2 of them. Quandre Webster does look solid. 5'11", 21 years old, 4'2", 940, with pretty good key ratings. I mean, I've seen 6'3" players with worse key ratings than that. And then you have Felix Edwards, who's a little bit older, though, but a little more balancedly fast. A deep rot C release. You know, Gallup really isn't that guy for us. Tolbert's decent, but his overall's low. Also, the name, Jalen Phillips, he's going to be the guy I'm trying to get as our D-end. Very athletic for his size, and we need a new right end. I mean, as far as like what we need, do I trade down to grab the edge rusher and the DT? Probably. Could I go wide receiver? Probably. Kind of want to see what Gallup's like hit is. So yeah, I mean, even like in 2025, best case is 8.7 mil dead. So I think we're gonna trade down. I think we're gonna have to pass on wide receiver, even though I really like the speedsters and the fact that there's so many of them. It's almost like it's like a specific like generation where it's a guaranteed good player because there's so many of them. At least that's the way I feel. This was literally the most sliver close trade possible. I tried to get a 7th next year, and it was just like an inch away from being done. So barely got this through. Barely feels like a win, but as far as what we need and the guys that we see on our board, I don't hate it. I do worry a little bit that even at 14, Phillips could be gone, and we absolutely have that as one of our biggest needs. So I think I might actually use like that 5th. Oh, actually, I didn't use the 5th next to move up like 4 spots. Just like guaranteed. Like I don't really care like how the board falls. I'm just going to move up. So it'd be pretty unfortunate if he's still not there, the D end, but we are going to be moving to 10 using a 5th round pick. I don't know. Wait a minute. Edwards is still there? Bro, they're really tempting me. They are tempting me, but obviously the biggest need is D-end. His name's Jalen Phillips. He's got to be a god. And he is hidden. He is pretty athletic for 270, and with an A finesse, I'm hoping it's like 76-ish. That's usually what you get. So we trade a 2 and a 4 this with a 6 next for 57 and 153 from Green Bay, which I honestly think in all, we actually probably won that trade, which is not a super common thing when trading up. Melvin Kyle, A finesse move, C block shed, B tackle. Welcome to the team. Oh, and he's hidden. Ooh, okay. Options. I will say the last upgrade we had with Odigizua was definitely solid, though. He got a +3 to block shed. He's got to be like 87 block shed or something like that, which is really, really good. But cap casualties, man. We can't afford everyone. And we're middle of the 3rd. These are all day 3s, but I might still just take the best-looking player, which Chris Francisco, which is the position we need, looks really good. Chris Francisco it is. Normal dev it is. Well, we're going to go to 32 and probably draft another lineman. Really want a hidden lineman for that center spot. And I think J.J. Winters, even though he's a little bit on the weaker side, is going to be my choice here. Please be hidden. Thank you. 83 strength only, but hidden development trade, that's a win. Francisco might still be a good overall, but yeah, he's not likely a starter. Damn, and AI just robbed my player, Clyde Thorpe. Very bad man coverage, but decently athletic for his size with an A to C zone. I'm going to take the risk on him. Normal dev, 91 speed, 92 excel. Backup safety, perhaps. But here we go with our 200K cap room team. Ooh, some overall issues here. Winters, I guess, starts simply just because of that dev, which it matters. It absolutely matters, unless the ratings are so crazy different. Oh, I will say, obviously, pass blocking is quite a bit better for Winters, but that run block, and this is a run-heavy team, is way different, although it's run block power, so it doesn't even matter. His run block power is like the same as finesse. Who really even cares? Yeah, Winters has to start, and then these two guys, I'm going to imagine, are both star development trade anyways, so do we... Ooh, 79. Let's put him at right end and see actually what that dev is. Maybe he's a superstar. I'd be clutch. He's not. Definitely want to take a look at those wide receivers, though. And then Melvin Kyle, future starting DT. Depending on Odigizua's, like, number, though, I might be able to trade him off for a 4th round pick. He was actually really good, and this guy has high potential, so We'll see. I might even trade him off, get something for him, but at the same time, we are trying to win it all now. 81 overall quarterback for the Raiders, though. Patience. Show the patience. Thy will be rewarded. I don't know. I just came up with that. But Dev, only stars, an 81 overall. Interesting. Let's take a look at the wide receivers we could have had, though. So Hitchens was on my list as the first guy. He is normal dev at 23 at 99 speed. There's no way I would have taken him, but I just looked at the 40 times and I just started slapping players on who had insane 40s. Who are the next players? Don't remember if he was on my list. I don't think he was. But of course, Webster was definitely on it. Quandre Webster. That was going to be the guy I definitely was taking. Normal dev. High potential guy, but normal dev. You find those kind of players really late. In general, probably Albert probably looks similar to that, to be honest. Who else was there? Edwards was definitely a choice. 99 speed. This time, though, a hidden dev. As if the Niners needed more talent. Glad to see him in the NFC. Super fun. What's his dev? Star dev. You know, it's not crazy great. I think that was the last one, though. I think there was like 3 really fast dudes all in a row. There was another Edwards, but he wasn't as fast, so I don't really care. All right, season 2 of 3. Unless we win the Super Bowl here, then, I mean, there's kind of no point in doing it anymore. You've got the back-to-back. It's about the best you can do. Dak, 89 overall, 89 for Pollard, 95 for Lamb, 82 for Gallup, 74 for Tolbert, 82 for Kraft, it seems. O-line's great. Steele's going to need a contract, so we might have to let him go and Tyron go. Linebackers, I mean, they're getting better. Lane Vander Esch is somehow an 84 overall. He needs a contract, too, which is super painful. This team is broke, but we won a Super Bowl, and we still have this season's chance at another. Martin's going to start because we, at some point, have to start developing youth. Otherwise, we're just going to be a terrible team in year 3. So there's that. Oh, money. I like money. Oh, crap. I like money, but so do all these players. All right, so we have to go for guys that we absolutely cannot lose, right? CeeDee Lamb is first and foremost. Math it's sometimes challenging. A 1-year 27, so 4-year 108. I think that's fair. He's happy to re-sign. 27 per, pretty fair for him. Dak, I would imagine, is still playing really well. So, you know, if he wants to stick around, okay, he's not playing really well, but he's playing all right, I suppose. What point are we? We have 9 games in. That's not great. It's not the worst. We know what the quarterback market is like. A 3-year 44 basically per, which is it's a little too high, but it is what it is. What can you do? DeMarcus Lawrence needs to be replaced. Gilmore needs to be replaced. Leighton Vander Esch, if he wants to go on a 2-year 22 even at this point, I do. Maybe, I guess, but I'm not going to be the person to do that. Odigizua, not a guy that I would have expected to actually care about here, but I kind of do. Are any of our DTs fast enough? I think Keon White could play edge instead. Is that an option? I didn't really think about that, but I think it should be. And Terrence Steele's contract is a steal. 3 or 21, that's a dub for us. Maybe you keep Zach Martin for another year, and then depending on what the actual contracts are at the end of this thing, maybe you also keep Tyron, but we're not in as bad a shape as I thought we were going to be. And Odigizua, I think you figure it out later. I think you figure out who's going to play where. You let him just continue to be good. DeMarcus Lawrence is not going to be worth keeping, I don't think. So, Keon White at left end. I mean, we got a dev up finally. Breakout completed. Jartavius Martin is a superstar. All right. Perfect coding game has us going from Super Bowl champions to 7-10 playoff missers, despite the fact that we kept basically the entire team intact, if anything, upgraded certain positions. And, I mean, the real loss would be like Gilmore's overall dropping, but a 4 overall drop is good enough for to go from Super Bowl winner to playoff misser. Interesting call there, EA. Interesting call. Yeah, what a great game. Obviously didn't change the playbooks or anything like that because we literally won a Super Bowl with them, so why would I do that? Paid Dak, and let me tell you, not bad, actually. Pollard, terrible in sim as usual because it's his body build, his build in general isn't good for sim. Lamb was great again. Tucker Kraft could be an X Factor. Tolbert, I doubt would be a superstar, though. Gallup, definitely a better season, but still not exactly what I'm looking for. Terrence Steele, not great. Almost called him Teal. The rest of the line was amazing, though. Leighton Vander Esch could be a superstar, but I think he's gone. Pass rushing. What is going on here? What? He's my sub right end? Why did Micah Parsons not play much? Oh my god, this game is good. Well, that season sucked. Outside of like a craft dev up, this is like almost a completely wasted season. Green Bay versus the Steelers. Who's going to win the rematch? It is the Steelers getting their revenge, as we are headed into year 3 with a 7-10 Super Bowl Cowboys team. As far as dev ups go, none on offense, sadly, and then defensively, not even Leighton Vander Esch with the tackles. That is surprising. Definitely surprising to say the least. Yeah, I mean, Gilmore's going to be gone. Lawrence, I didn't even actually see how far was the regression. He's 85 overall, but he was terrible, so it doesn't even matter. I guess, I don't know. I mean, unless we get some crazy free agent signing, it might have just been a one-hitter quitter, just beginner's luck. Like, super beginner's luck. But we do have 50 mil. We already paid Mr. Zach. What the hell? Did he retire? Don't tell me Zach Martin also retired. I'm pretty sure Tyron retired. He's like, I know the way this team's going. Screw that. Gilmore retires and Tyron Smith retires. Mad L there. We do have that left tackle or center, though he moved to left tackle, Francisco, who's built better as a tackle anyways. 50 million left to spend. Leighton Vander Esch did end up becoming an 85 overall. I would still offer this. Maybe a little bit higher, 2 or 23. I'm not interested. I mean, he was basically asking for, what, 11 per anyways? Okay, the tag is very high. Never mind. DeMarcus Lawrence, I do a 1 year 13.5, and that's it. Boom. All right, see you later. I know I'm not going to tag him, but oh, maybe I will, actually. The tag's not terrible. Screw it. Last season anyways, not a bad overall, just didn't really play well, but normally he's great in sim. 34 mil, we have to replace a left tackle and a cornerback. I think he can do that. I think he can easily replace cornerback. Tackle, maybe not so much, but maybe Francisco's ready for the starting job. I don't know. But yeah, Joe Mixon, the running back, Jalen Hurts, Aaron Jones. Newsom's an interesting cornerback, but I think we have zero chance to get him when you consider the fact that he's just not interested. Anyone else? Byron Jones back in Dallas. Everyone wants him, though, for some reason, which is kind of sad for us. Carlton Davis, not super athletic. Nate Hobbs, really? Will the Raiders really let him go? I mean, I'm going to make the argument that they let him go. He's not the greatest in the world, you know. He's very bad at man coverage. I will say that he's 26, so his ceiling's not that great either. I think we might have to go for Hobbs just because we want to build this last season roster up. But at the same time, I kind of like Byron Jones a little bit. A little more athletic, a little bit more balanced. Do you think Hobbs is a long-term option anyways? I don't know. If I can get Byron Jones back here on a 1 year and 11, I'd do it. Holy crap. I can't compete, though. I wanted one of the other options. 3 or 27. We sold so hard, didn't we? Well, we're the highest still. Never mind. We should be fine. Yeah, Nate Hobbs hopefully joins us, and we got him. Fair enough. And the last second here, it looks like we have added Jeromepkr on a 2 year 20. Not quite as good as Leighton, but still decent enough. You know, coverage very similar. Block shed's a little worse. A little more athletic, I suppose. Ceiling is obviously, you know, I wouldn't say there's much of a ceiling left for either of the players, but, you know, normal development rate, he's going to fall down hard here. But as much as we could do while not completely crippling ourselves for all of eternity, we've done it, I guess. Can't really do much more than we've done. Left tackle may still be a need of ours, and then right guard definitely is. Zach Martin probably retires after this season. What else do we have? Wide receivers, obviously an option. Linebackers in general. D. Winters just not, like, upgrading. I don't know if it's just because the scheme is kind of weird and funky, but he's just not getting XP. So we downgrade. Just how it works. I don't make the rules, all right? EA makes them, and I barely follow them. Tackle is like a shell of itself, so it's going to be great to make the playoffs this year because obviously it's a differentiating 7-10 team now. So there's actually some really good defensive players in this draft, but the first player I would like to get is a wide receiver, a 6'5" wide receiver with he's okay speed. But I think before then, I kind of want to get to like 20-ish to gain some more value throughout this draft. So If I get to like 20, I will make the trade and hope he's still there. Once again, wide receiver isn't the biggest need this specific moment, so it would be more of a future type of thing, but the guy looks really good, so I kind of want him. Gave the Cardinals 11 this, 127 next, and Wipler for 20, 52, and 84 from the Cardinals, which I'm not sure what they're going to be going for here, but definitely not a bad trade. And Carlos Clancy, I have a Clancy later that looks decent. I think he's a linebacker. Don't know if the wide receiver's there. If he is, obviously I'm going to take him. If not, well, we're screwed. I'm going to tell you, there he is. Larry Phelps. Come on, man. We were just here. Thank you. Larry Phelps with an A catch of traffic, A catch, B deep route, 6'5", 21 years old. Not the fastest in the world, like I said, but those key ratings were enough to make me think he's worth it. So we're going to be grabbing Larry Phelps here, who is normal. Well, let's go to the next round. See what we have at 11 here. We might trade up as well because there's two really good defensive linemen. Don't know how many D linemen we really need, though. But they're just the best value, right? Like an A power move, C block shed defensive end who's not the fastest, but at 276, you kind of expect him not to be. It's kind of like a mid-level, whereas Swan is also very solid. But B block shed, B finesse with an A tackle. You also have Vega. I think Elliott's worth it, though. He's good, maybe just fast enough to play edge. Kind of. Maybe not, actually. Now I kind of want Vega the most. I might just go with Vega. A finesse, B block shed. 485. Don't really need DT, but it's the best value, so I'm going to grab him. Another normal. Nice. Really nailing the draft here. I will say, I bet you that Cutler guy is hidden, but the more I looked at that speed and the size, like, you can't really play DT, right? And I don't know, we don't even need a DT, so I'm not really even sure what I'm doing here, but I draft best available anytime I can. We're going to go to the start of the next round. We're probably going to just draft a bunch more linemen. I mean, at this point, I'm just going best available, and most of these best availables aren't even positional needs. The interdivisional has been completed. And I think Mr. Adam Harding is worth the pick. He's a true center, though, which is a little worrisome, but he looks really solid, so that's who I'm going to take. I'm done, dude. Another normal. Bro, this is one of the worst drafts I've had in some time. Like, obviously, the overalls could be decent. The wide receiver might still be really good, but, like, pure dev-wise, this has been brutal. Brutal. And honestly, do I take one of the linebackers? I might just take Harrison, even though he's undersized comparatively. 4'3". He just looks a little bit better, but what about Clancy? What's the age? 22 as well. He's bigger, but he's a little worse based on these ratings, I suppose. Nah, I'm going to take Clancy because he's a bigger guy. He's kind of like Leighton Vander Esch here. And finally a hidden, really athletic, too. 80 change direction. Jumping sucks, but that's what you expect. And day 3 could be anything, so I kind of want to take that other guy. I think was he a center? No, he was a guard, I believe. Barrington was one of my guys as well. But Swinney looks really good as well. So I'm going to take Swinney, Caleb Swinney, and another hidden development trade. So back-to-back hiddens, kind of cleaning up shop a little bit here nicely in the third. Speedster Griffin, 97 speed wide receiver. And then in the 7th round, I'm probably just going to take the best kick power punter. Because I think I don't even know if we actually have a punter at this point. So a C accuracy, but a great kick power. And he's first on everything for punters athletically. So Damon Stern, who is a hidden development trait. Is this a generational punter? 95 jumping, 84 speed, 86 excel, and he's hidden? No shot, he's got a generational punter. Have I ever done that? I don't think so. Definitely got a couple of generational kickers, without a doubt, but punter, interesting. Wide receiver's only 73. Damn, that DT's only a 70. Wow, that was not a great class. 68 overall, so that's interesting. 72 accuracy is no throwing ability at all, but almost like an emphasis to not having the throwing ability, right? Like 23 throw power, what the hell is that about? And we got ourselves a generational punter. Interesting. Nice. That's great. That's what I needed the most in this class, obviously. What the hell even is that? But let's take a look at the wide receiver anyway. 73 overall is not the worst I've ever seen. Release is okay. Route running is meh. Catching is great, though. 91 speed at 6'5". He'd be fun as hell, though, no matter what you want to say about him. But Yeah, we may have sold. Let's take a look at the D-line, and I want to take a look at who the hell was the other player? I don't even remember, but definitely the D-line. So here's Cutler, 75 overall to the Jets. Like I said, I knew he was going to be hidden. It wasn't really a scheme fit, if you will, but you kind of look back, it's like he's basically DeMarcus Lawrence, so we kind of sold there. What's his dev? Star. I mean, I guess that's not the biggest deal in the world, but still better than our guy, no questions about that. And who was the other guy? He was a DT, right? Swan, 75 overall Swan. Nice hidden development trait. Smart stuff. Glad we took the guy we did. Totally worth it. And his dev is also Star. Once again, Star isn't the greatest thing ever. Normal, the Star basically is guaranteed for D lineman, but still, it's especially for a guy that's not starting right away. That is an L. We officially released Zeke. We actually saved money this time. I do kind of get it, though, if you don't think he's got it anymore, which most of the time last season and maybe even before then really didn't feel like he did or does. But, at that money, I was like, he obviously played pretty well for us in this rebuild, but overall, it has finally officially been time. All right, here's the team for the final season. Definitely didn't do a great job of, filling the wide receiver group out, but CeeDee Lamb can carry, so can Kraft. Left tackle is definitely a downgrade, but the O-line in general is not bad. Running back solid, even though he doesn't play well in sim, and Dak is good enough. Quarterback's definitely a downgrade. Linebackers about even, to be honest. Clancy may be a better ceiling than Winters. And then DTs, they've been playing pretty well. So what can I say? We're just hoping for one last hurrah, if you will, when we're about to lose even more players like DeMarcus Lawrence and probably Zach Martin. Perfect kind of cutoff. So glad we won that first-year Super Bowl, going to be honest. All right, not a bad season start. Micah Parsons is asking for not a whole lot. So if we're talking about realism, even that is low, but a 5-year 108 just to play a part of EA's kind of thinking. Tyler Smith is amazing, so we got to give him some money. 5-year 80 I'd be willing to do. And he's happy. What else do we have? 71 mil cap. We got Dylan as a backup, obviously. You probably noticed. Bland is actually not a bad player, so I'm going to give him that 2-year 9, maybe 2-year 10. Just have that cornerback spot kind of shored up, if you will. 6 mil, obviously Zach Martin will probably retire, but if he doesn't, he'll stick around. Riley Patterson's been pretty good, so another 2-year 8 for him if he's down, which he is. And then Jalen Tolbert's been good for us, but for whatever reason, even with sliders on about 148 for wide receivers, he's just not developing. So, I mean, with that knowledge, I kind of have to just let him go and work our way up with Phelps, the rookie. But let's head to the playoffs. Looking pretty good. Should be a lock for them, but division between us and the Giants. Giants have really given us a run in this one. Not good enough, though, in the last hurrah, most likely involving Mr. Zach Martin, is here, and it is. Once again, didn't change the scheme this entire rebuild, so there's that, obviously, and went from 7-10 to 13-3 with the exact same scheme, playbooks, everything, but a worse team. Gotta love that. Way to go, yay. Clutch. Of course, Dak with a really good season. Interceptions are probably too high for MVP. It's still a good year, though. And then once again, like we talked about with Pollard, something about his body build in the game or his ratings, maybe it's just that he's not a power back at all. It's just he sucks in sim. I don't understand how someone could be that good, yet be that bad in sim. Kraft, decent season. Kraft didn't get there, but Phelps with a nice season. Gallup was a lot better than normal. Lamb was solid and super unrealistic to not have Tolbert start, even though he had like 2 straight 1K seasons. Francisco wasn't great. Parsons back in the top tier list. And Keon White at 17 sacks. I was kind of planning on putting him at edge after Marcus Lawrence is gone, but can you really do that when he's playing that well? Hobbs could be a superstar. Diggs and Baker with some interceptions as well. Patterson was decent. Stern was solid, and then kick return, punt return game was all right. Let's take a look at MVP. Doubt Dak would have won it, but he was probably close. Yeah, number 4, not bad. Any other award wins? Not there. DB of the year, maybe. Number 2, super close on a couple of awards, but no actual wins. Now for the final season's playoffs, the 9-8 Falcons. We have them by, 4 overalls, I believe? It's either 4 or 6. 7-0. Come on. Win another Super Bowl. Why not, Dallas? There you go, 10-7. Still 10-7, 10-14. Ooh, field goal, 17-10. Come on, Dallas. There you go. 17 all. Nice. 20-17. It's all tied up at 20 all. They drove down really well, but no score. 118. A huge touch on a CeeDee Lamb. Might seal it, and it will. Not the best performance, gotta admit, but still did enough, and it is against Anthony Richardson, who's a god in sim, but two rough games against us in the playoffs. Receiving Drake London was great. Our numbers were tame as hell. Bunch of 70-yard guys. Keon White, man, he has been really good in this one. We seem to always have, like, one really decent interior guy that just shows up from the class, right? Like, we had Pickens, and now we have White, and it's kind of crazy. The divisional against the Giants, they're an 88 overall, so no guarantees. And a weird one is the Patriots are still in it. Kind of crazy. Could be a Giants-Patriots Super Bowl, who knows? 7-14, 14-14, really good game so far. 21-14, come on. Come on, Dallas, win another one. 24-14, touchdown wins it. Field goal's pretty good, but is it enough? That'll be enough, and we win. Wow, we smoked them. For it to be the Giants getting smoked like that, they've been really competitive this entire time. Geno is the quarterback. That must be a new quarterback. There's no way they were doing it with Geno, right? Pollard, really bad performance once again. CeeDee Lamb, killing it. Yeah, I don't understand why Pollard's so bad in sim. I bet you that's why the Cowboys have kind of taken a step back in Madden this year, is because Pollard's a higher overall than Zeke now, whereas Zeke is always really good in sim, and Pollard just isn't. It's kind of crazy, right? Also, Keon White, not a very high overall because they've been kind of developing him as a run stopper, but considering it's working, what can I really say about that? Now at 82 power move with 90 block shed, he's a talented fella. Championship round, who is it? It is the Rams have turned it around. Okay, 82 overall. Don't know how the hell they've turned around. They have Jalen Ramsey here still. His name does have Ram in it, I suppose. And Aaron Donald's still here, which I cannot imagine he plays more than one more season in real life, at least for the Rams. But here we go to the end of the game. Back and forth. Rams with 7 points. 14 points. Now they're an 82 overall game. Come on. Come on, EA. Stop it. 21-7 and 24-7 at half. 24-14. 31-14. I don't think we're going to be able to come back. Got a chance. Oh, they had it and they ruined it. Oh, down by 3. 9 minutes left. Defense needs to make a stop. They do. Tied up at 31 all. No. 3rd and 2. They got to get the stop. Even then, it's probably not going to be enough. If the game has them pass this ball, I'm going to be so mad. But I suppose it isn't the most unrealistic thing I've ever seen. And we couldn't cut back. We just got smoked by 4 yards on one player, dude. You got to be kidding me. Offense tried, and the field goal's up and good. Barring a miracle, it is sadly over. Stafford, the backup. Got to let it bounce. Come on, Albert. Thank you. Don't know what Albert could have done there when I said come on, but, you know, good effort, I guess, to not get it. I don't know. Let's go with Flood. Ramsey against Lamb. That's awesome. No timeout, so it has to go out of bounds. So it's basically 2 plays, or 2 routes. And there's a chance at that. CD! I mean, he gave us a Hail Mary shot. We'll take it. We'll take it. Got to give it to CeeDee Lamb there. I mean, he gave us a shot at this thing. And I suppose you double-team that Donald fella, right? And we will get it up there. And the 6'5 Phelps. He was up there. Bro. No shot they didn't give it to us. We obviously have to see it. Oh my God. The throw is pretty much perfect. Look at this thing. I mean, look at this. Bro. Oh my Lord. Could you have imagined? Wow. Still a hell of a finish. Philip Snyder, I think he was number 2 on MVP even. Outplaying our quarterback, kind of. We did have 2 rushing touchdowns. It was pretty similar performances. Damn, that could have been so epic. It was still crazy, though. Bland with an interception. And Patterson, you bot. The bot lost it for us. Oh, my God. We got him on 2-year 8, though, right? Hell yeah, brother. Sadly, though, there will not be 2 Super Bowl wins. Let's see. Does he actually physically retire? Not that it would have mattered anyways. It's done for us regardless. But let's see. Is Ponder... Oh, he's pondering his future. Oh, Christian Ponder. Be very interested to see if he retired or not. If he retired, then it's definitely like the perfect time to call it, because there ain't no way we're winning a Super Bowl without, all these different names that we're about to lose and have to restart with. Rams versus the Jaguars in the Super Bowl. Very interesting. Two teams that were like battling it out for first pick overall not so long ago. Rams Super Bowl winner. Let's go to the re-signing. Is he retired? I've got to imagine he retired, right? Let's take a look at the retirements. Mr. Cowboys. And he did not, but DeMarcus Lawrence did. So very interesting that even after a last hurrah, that Zach Martin decided to stick it out. That's surprising, but he's obviously amazing, so I'm glad he would. But let's take a look at some of our players. I guess we'll take a look at Tyler Smith, because he's kind of my boy in franchise, and didn't really develop his finesse, but he is playing guard right now. Definitely look to maybe play him at left tackle instead of Francisco. Only didn't for this season because the finesse of Francisco is way better than his power. Tucker Kraft, deep route sucks, but he's a tight end, so who cares? Built kind of perfectly. Like, he is really solid. Let's take a look at Lamb, see if his short route ever got up. It was like a season and a half ago since we last looked. Oh, it's definitely better. He's basically a 99 everything, and man, that catch, kind of filthy. Pollard we did just look at, but I kind of glanced. Change directions, really not that good, to be honest. Juke move, not that great either, to be fair. Dak, I guess we want to see him because he regressed. Kind of crazy how hard he's regressing for an X Factor, though. Now, did they change regressions again some recently? Because, he's 33. It's not crazy. Phelps didn't go up in dev, by the way, which is such an L. Just like that catch drop. Not good at route running, but he can catch the ball, so it sucks that he didn't do the one thing he's good at. Like I said, DeMarcus Lawrence went. Hobbs with a dev up would be massive, which obviously he got. Zone coverage is up, but, man, still the same. Looking at other ratings, I guess we'll take a look at Diggs, see if his man coverage ever went up, which it might have a little bit, but 98 zone. Odigizua, Mr. 86 block shed, 77 power move. Is not the greatest, so I'm not really even sure why we gave him the contract we did, but we did anyways. And then, damn it, stupid switcheroo. White would probably play left end for us, I would say. Kyle would be the new DT1. Keon White at left end wouldn't be the worst drop-off in the world, especially the way he played a DT, but maybe still look as a new DN, because you don't want to lose your guy that's playing well, right? Clancy just came along, so who gives a crap? Micah Parsons, 94 finesse, 95 power move. You definitely want to see that block shed go up. Might have won that game if it wasn't for that. Freaking dry in here, so I'm like damn near gagging. But yeah, if he had better block shed, maybe he would have stopped that run instead of forcing us to have like 2 seconds, but it was epic, so fair enough trade-off. Really good zone coverage already and fast, so although I will say already, he's 25. Maybe not already, but either way, that is going to be the realistic style rebuild of the Dallas Cowboys, a team that, didn't change a lot per se, but Gilmore himself, maybe not the defensive player of the year Gilmore, but still solid enough, could make massive changes for that team, especially with the pass rush they have. It could be really hard to move the ball on them, at least in the pass game. So I had to do it, especially since EA screwed me on my Raiders rebuild. I couldn't do a new one. I didn't have enough time for it. I'd imagine the Raiders are going to be like a 5-year team. I will say it was going pretty well. If I have to redo it, I might go a different route. That's all I'm going to tell you. What does it mean? Did he draft a QB? Did he not? Who knows? But that may be the next rebuild we do, which is probably the Raiders. Still got to do the Panthers. It's just there's a lot of Panthers rebuilds that came up, almost immediately because of the trade. So I kind of wanted to wait a little bit and kind of mull over, do I want to trade down for them or not? But I don't know if Houston's like, if I was Houston, I'd be like, you guys are idiots. You can trade up to 1. We're just going to take whoever's left over. We don't even care. Maybe they're dumb enough to take Richardson. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know if they really have a trade partner unless Arizona just gets weird. They're like, the Texans are reporting that they want Will Anderson or something. I don't know, but I just don't know if the Panthers can trade down. They've kind of locked them into this spot, in their own spot, I think. So that's about it. If you guys have any suggestions for other rebuild ideas you want to see, I think the Vikings have been quite a bit different this offseason, lost a bunch of big names, and obviously added some new ones. So they've changed a lot. The Rams are obviously even worse than they were before. So obviously, we still have the Raiders and then the Panthers, like we said. So any other teams that I may be forgetting that I didn't mention just now, let me know in the comment section below, and that be it. The next upload, I think, on the channel will probably be a fantasy draft guide, the final one for the Madden 23 cycle, and maybe Seahawks franchise on Saturday. Hogwarts Legacy probably tomorrow. Rebuild on Sunday for sure, but maybe a rebuild tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!